Welcome back. For our next video, we are going to look at the first page in your classes. So when you open a class up, this is one of my classes that I'm teaching right now. When you open it up, there are a bunch of things for you to look at. So let's navigate first of all to the top right corner of the page where it says Help. I want you to see this little guy here. Click on it. Click on Search the Knowledge Base, and it will take you to Populi's Help page, and there's a lot of useful information in here. In fact, this is where I've learned a lot of what I am able to do on this system. And I know that there's a lot that I have yet to learn, so maybe you can learn it and teach me. So I want to create a rubric for an assignment, and I'm not sure how to do it. Well, here I look right here and I see somebody has posted something that at least looks like Populi's done it, that says setting up rubric. So I can click on that. I can go in and it's going to show me how to set up a rubric starting from right from the beginning. This tab right here, it's interesting, is from several systems, years ago, but once you get down here, they're using modern images from more recent editions of Populi. So if you're adept at using this kind of instruction, these can be very helpful. It's not video based, but it is picture, written instruction, picture, written instruction, picture, written instruction. So some people can use this, some people can't. If you're one of those people, well, there you go. You have a great help tool available to you, and now you know how to access it. Okay, that's not where I was. Here we go. So we're in this class, and this is our bulletin board area. It says bulletin board right here. Now, if I want to share something with my class, I can type it right here. And let's say I want to add a little character to it, so I'm going to add a bold, and I'm going to add a yellow highlight, and then the way you do it, just like HTML, you finish it the opposite way of way you inserted it. So the asterisks say make it bold, and the plus sign says make it highlighted in yellow. So I want to say hello class, and then maybe I'm going to sign it. I usually put a little bear after all of my little posts on my students, so it's just kind of a way of telling them it's me. Now if you want to know how to do that, click on the formatting guide. It tells you how to do all of these things, how to get bold and italics, underline, superscript, subscript, all of that. There's also a list of emoji. If you click on this link right here, it will take you to the emoji. It also tells you how to put YouTube, Vimeo, Scribd, or Instagram informations into this space here. So I've put that little post. I'm going to click post right here. You can see that right there. There's my image of who posted it. Now, here's what you need to remember. Number one, I have one student in this class because it's a DSP. She just got an email saying, hello class, okay? But she cannot click on that email and respond to this page. She has to go log into Populi and then respond directly underneath my post by commenting beneath it, okay? Or she can click the love button if she wants to. Now, once you've posted something, if you don't like it, you can delete the post, or you could edit the post, go in and fix whatever you posted. For me, I'm going to delete the whole thing. Well, I could have done it an easier way, couldn't I? Now I'll delete it. Okay, so you want to warn your students about that. If they have a question for you, this is not the place to write it, because if you can't get back to them immediately, I like to respond to my students as fast as I can. So I tell them if they have a question, use my Epic email or use my school email, email me directly, and I'll respond to them. If I feel like the response is something that the whole class needs to hear, I'll send an email out to the whole class sharing that same information. The bulletin board is great for you as the professor to put up little videos or to put up comments to the classroom, and it's also a great place for your students to share information that they might have for the class. If we go over to the left side now, we will see you have, this is the dashboard. You have a link to the info page, which we're going to discuss next in this class. You have a link to the assignments page, and we'll have a whole video on how to set up your assignments and your assignment categories coming up. We'll have a link to the rubrics page. I don't have any rubrics in this class, but we're going to set one up together, and I'll show you how to use those and employ them. This is a link to all the lessons. When I do an online class, all of my information is in a weekly lesson, and then the students can go in and they can click on the lesson and they can see all of their information. Sorry, it's populating a little slowly. And so there's a way to do all of this stuff in here if you choose to add it or use it for your classroom students, which you can do. Here's a link to all the discussions. The discussions, when they have not been used or have not been opened by you, or if there's fresh information, they'll be in blue. It's a great shortcut. So you click on discussions, you'll see there's 3 posts on the intro to Ephesians video, and if it's in blue like this, where I'm pointing with my mouse right now with my cursor, if it's blue, that means that's all fresh information. So you go click on that, it takes you to the post, and you can scan down and you can read what the student has written in the discussion post. It's a great shortcut to get there. Your tests, this will show you which tests you have created for the class. I use a form of testing called memorization exercises, which I can post a video on later if you're interested in that. This is your classroom calendar. Because the student is taking this class independently, there are no due dates. So everything just shows up as being due the first day of class, but typically your calendar will show all of your assignment due dates throughout the entire class and when your classes will be held and all of that information. So that's useful to you. Also, there's your class roster. The class roster is great because you can take some actions in here that are kind of helpful. For instance, you can email this entire section, and when you click on this, it opens up a window that has your Gmail, and you can go right into there, hit your subject, and you can put the recipient's first name in there, and it's going to address it to each person personally. A little warning to you. Sometimes students need to understand that the emails are going to everyone and not just to them when you put the personal address in there. I had one student that took everything incredibly personally when I would say, like, keep up the good work, don't give up, or don't quit, and they would think I was insulting them. So make sure that you write your email in such a way that everybody knows that you're writing to all of them. And then you can see here that you can insert links, and that you can insert documents by clicking insert here. And you can also insert HTML code if you want to do it that way, and you can change your font size. So there's not every option that's normally available in an email, but most of them are there, and so that's helpful. Okay, you can also just email, you can text the students, okay, and then there are a few other things that you can do, but you'll probably never use them. And then what you can also do is select an individual student and just email that individual student from the email. By the way, this grade is not accurate, so I'm not violating FERPA. It's not. Okay, then your grade book, and you can see here that in your grade book you have all of your assignments here, and we'll go over how to do a grade book on a future video. Attendance, we'll go over how to do attendance on a future video. Reporting, you can look at a whole bunch of cool information about your students. There's a chat that you can start a chat session on, and you might want to do that for your classroom students. I have never found a use for it for online students, but you might. And then settings, just stay out of that. That's not going to be helpful to you. Okay, so go back to the dashboard. That is just about everything. You notice a few options here which are kind of redundant from the roster. Email this section, email all of your sections, text this section, and then also disable student bulletin boards. So you can turn this off so the students can't comment if you want. And finally, you can go down on the right here. This is also redundant, but it's here. It'll show you which discussions have been, the students have had open to them and that there are comments on, and you can click those links and go directly to them. So that's everything that is on the bulletin board except for one thing, your picture. So when you set up your class, you may have a class in your a picture of yourself in your profile, but there won't be a picture in here. So you can either use your own picture, which I do in some classes, or especially because it's online and I'm trying to create more of a connection with the students. But if you're in a classroom setting, you don't. I wouldn't say you have to use your own picture. All you do is you click to edit, and when you want to change it, it gives you an opportunity to drag or drop an image in there, and that's it. And if you want that to be the image for every class that you teach, every time you teach that class, you just say make it the default. It'll always show up. So in my other which class? In one of my classes, I used like a picture of Jesus. It's an actual picture that was taken by eyewitnesses, and I put that in there. And so, but you put something so the students have a feeling of that they're in the right place. They know where they're supposed to go. They know where they're at. Put something in there that helps them navigate and is familiar to them. Okay, so that's it for the bulletin board.